Hi there, business owner, and welcome to the 3Bs podcast, the place where we go beyond the numbers and dive into strategies to help you build a better business one step at a time. I'm your host, Stephanie, a multi-award-winning entrepreneur with over a decade of experience in the bookkeeping and accountancy world. If you're a business owner looking to streamline, grow, and get back the time that you deserve, you're in the right place. We're tackling real-world problems, answering tough questions, and digging deep into business-building secrets in just 15 minutes each week. So are you ready to build a better business with confidence and clarity? Then let's go. Welcome back to another episode of the 3Bs podcast. I'm Stephanie Marshall, your go-to for straight talking finance, no fluff business advice, and helping you stay one step ahead of the stuff that nobody warned you about as a business owner. And today I've got a public service announcement for UK business owners. Companies House is changing. And it's not just background admin, it affects what you need to file, who can file it, and how your business details are verified. If you are a limited company or are thinking of becoming one, you need to listen to this episode. We're breaking down what's already changed, what's coming next, and what you need to do right now to stay compliant. Let's get into it. So first, what is this all about? So these changes are part of the Economic Crime and Corporate Transparency Act, which passed in October 2023. Now, the goal here was to stop dodgy companies, improve transparency, and make it harder for people to hide behind fake businesses. And that's fair enough. But as usual, it means more responsibility on the business owner's shoulders. This isn't just a tick box exercise or a little update that we just tick the box in the confirmation statement. It affects how you file, who can file, and what you must disclose going forwards. Now, as part of this plan, some of the changes are already live, and these are the registered office address rules. So you can no longer use a PO box as a registered office address. Your registered office must be an appropriate address, meaning posts sent there must be received and responded to. A registered office doesn't need to be your home address, which I know worries a lot of business owners when they start out or they work from home. But your registered office does need to be an address that's not a PO box. There's companies that will do it for you, or if you have a bookkeeper or an accountant, some of those will also offer registered office postal services for you. Registered email address now required. So every company must now give a registered email to Companies House. Hallelujah, I'm telling you. We're finally getting into the 21st century. It won't be published publicly, but you must keep it up to date because they'll use that to contact you with notices and reminders and actually bringing all of this stuff up into the digital age, which is amazing. Confirmation statement changes. So you must now confirm your company is being run lawfully when you submit your confirmation statement. It sounds dramatic, but it's literally just another tick box on the confirmation statement, which you already have to submit each year anyway. If you've not updated your confirmation statement recently, now's the time. Have a look, check your date, because you only get a 2-week period from the date it's due to submit it. So it's one of those ones where you have to make sure you time it right, especially if you're going on holiday or anything like that. And while those changes have already happened, let's talk about what's coming up, because there's some big changes that are about to roll out next. ACSPs, Authorized Corporate Service Providers. What this means is that you won't be able to file changes to your company without it's done. We've done ours ready to help business owners to keep on top of the changes that are coming in force. And then the big one is the ID verification for directors and persons with significant control, or PSCs. When you go into the Companies House database, you can type in your company name, click people, and there will be officers, directors, shareholders, people with significant control. So all directors and people with significant control, or PSCs, that's people with 25% or more ownership of a business, will now need to verify their identity with Companies House. This includes existing directors and not just new ones. So for all of us business owners out there who are running legitimate businesses, it is just an admin exercise for us in that we just have to verify our identity. The problem lies with the fact that maybe you have companies with different accountants, so your registered office is different. Maybe you have some companies that you've used your full name and some you've used your middle name and then not your middle name, or your maiden name and you haven't yet changed it to your married name. This is going to start to cause problems, and this actually comes in effect from November. So this is going to start stopping you being able to submit these things to Companies House, which will incur fines and penalties, which is why it's so important that we talk about it today and get it straight now. You will need to ID verify yourself or get an ACSP to verify your identity. Usually it's done with the NFC chip on your passport. If you don't have one of those new passports with the NFC chip in, I believe there's other ways that they can verify your identity, but you just need to get this. Every person has a code. What I would suggest is if you are a director with different names across different companies or different registered addresses, now is the time to start updating those details with Companies House so that everything that is yours is under one name, because that's the code that you will need to submit in order to file anything like a confirmation statement, to form a new limited company, or to do anything on Companies House. Any sort of filing that needs to be done, whether that's submitting your confirmation statement, submitting your accounts or your corporation tax returns, or making changes to businesses or forming new companies, you will now need to input this in personal code, which is proof of your verification of your identity. Also, there's the abolition of the Companies House web filing service. The old system's going, which to be honest is a good thing because it is incredibly outdated, but filing will now have to happen through software or via your authorised agent. You won't be able to manually go onto Companies House and file anything through their web filing service anymore. And more power to flag suspicious activity. The report also says that Companies House will now be able to query and reject filings, not just rubber stamp them like they used to. This is all expected to roll out between late 24 and early 25, but you need to be ready now. As I say, the ID verification is from the 18th of November 2025, so not long now. If you've got a confirmation statement due at the end of this year or a set of accounts due at the end of this year, you're going to need that code as soon as possible, because bookkeepers, accountants, tax agents won't be able to file that for you, or you won't be able to file it through software without those verification codes for your identity. So let's keep it simple. Here's your to-do list off the back of this episode. Number 1, update your registered office address. Make sure it's compliant and monitored. Again, you can't use PO boxes. And if you have multiple companies, make sure they're all the same. Add your registered email address. If you haven't done this via your confirmation statement yet, do it now. You don't get charged twice for submitting a confirmation statement throughout the year. You can submit the updates throughout the year. You'll still only pay once when your annual confirmation statement is due to be updated. Again, if you have multiple companies across all of them, I'd keep it the same email address, and I'd keep the registered office address the same across them all for ease of use when verifying your identity. Talk to your bookkeeper and accountant, find out if they're registered or they're planning to register as an ACSP, if they can do your identity verification for you. If you've got any questions about this, they should be in the loop on it. If not, do come book a free discovery call with ABCS UK. 15 minutes, we can get together and see what it's going to look like for you going forward post-November. Prepare for the ID check, so make sure directors and shareholders are ready to verify the ID when required. You can verify your own ID now. So you can go on to gov.uk and verify your ID and get your code ready. We've already started collecting codes in the practice for our clients so that when it comes to submitting their accounts or submitting their confirmation statement, there won't be a hold or a delay because we've already got those details securely saved on file. And don't ignore Companies House emails. They are getting more proactive. They are giving you the information you need to know. Emails went out about this months ago. So you'll want to stay in the loop. If you don't have a bookkeeper or an accountant you trust to give you the information that you need, or you do everything yourself, then you need to make sure that you're reading those Companies House emails. They are few and far between, but they usually contain really important information. I know what you're thinking. More admin, more things to do. Great. But honestly, this is bigger than admin. These changes will make it harder for fake companies to operate, which will stop you getting scammed, let's be honest. Help protect your business's identity. Force a bit of cleanup in the UK business register, which again I think is really important, that if you've got your name in multiple places or different registered office addresses, it's time to merge them all together so that the UK business register is an accurate reflection of how many directors and shareholders and PSCs there are in the UK right now. And it gives your clients more trust in your legitimacy. So if a supplier in your chain is a limited company, you know that they are registered, you know that their ID has been verified, you know that you are dealing with a real person and a real company, which reduces and limits the risk of being scammed, if not for a better word. And yes, it is another thing on your plate, but with the right support, you don't have to deal with it all yourself. I'm going to be really blunt. If you don't comply to these new changes, there's some big risks if you ignore it. Companies House can strike your company off the register, close your company down, fine you for failing to provide accurate information, and delay your filings or reject changes. And in 2026, these systems are going to be even more connected to like MTD and things like that. So sorting out now can only help future you. To wrap this episode up, Companies House is changing for real this time. If you're a limited company, you can't afford to ignore it. If you're a PSC, you can't afford to ignore it. Sometimes PSCs are secretaries and things, and wives of company directors and husbands of company directors. It's important to look at them all. Start updating your details now, not later, and using an authorized agent to make your life easier. Again, with the ACSP and having your company registered and having your ID verified as a bookkeeper and accountant is also a great sign of legitimacy. It's a great sign of that you are trustworthy, that you are a legitimate practice, that you are going to help them and you're not going to hurt their business. If you're a client of ABCS UK, we've already got this on our radar for you. You've already had emails about it. We're already getting on with it. We're nearly there. If you're not and you feel a bit panicked by this, head to ABCS UK and book in a free discovery call. We can see if you need a power hour, a one-off service, or actually if signing up for monthly support might be more beneficial for you. We can get you up to speed. There is no stress needed. Next week, we're talking about how to raise your prices without losing clients. One of the biggest mindset blocks I see in small business owners, and I had to deal with myself. So hit follow so you don't miss next week's episode. Hit that notification bell if you're on YouTube, and leave a 5-star review if you can. I'd be super grateful. Until then, I hope you have a lovely week, and I will see you next week for the next episode of the 3Bs podcast. Bye. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the 3Bs podcast. I hope you found it useful and that you're walking away with some motivation, inspiration, or education to help you build a better business. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and of course connect with us on social media for more insights, tips, and behind-the-scenes content. Your next step in building a better business is just a click away. I can't wait to connect with you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye!